Alright, here's part 2 of the Guild Restore. We're going to start by doing the back side in the Angelus leather dye. So we've got the yellow Angelus leather dye here. We're going to apply it on the back. This is just that sanded down maple plate, 3-ply maple plate. And we'll go ahead and apply the yellow all over the body here. So this would be similar to a non-figured piece of wood. This is just a piece of maple, formed maple for the back. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and then apply the red next instead of the brown. So I wanted to show you guys the difference between the red and the brown going on. I prefer doing the brown next, but here I applied the red. So this is the Angelus red leather dye. We'll put it on the back side here. So we'll cover it, and we're doing it in this sweeping motion straight from the bottle. And we'll take the yellow rag and go back and forth. So now we're going to take the yellow rag here and we're going to pull some of that red down into the center. And so you can see that hard line that's formed from where I applied it. And this is just a process of now bringing the colors down into the center and beginning to sort of paint with watercolors. And so I usually have done this with water and trans-tint. But I've actually gotten some nice color pulling down with this Angelus leather dye. So we'll come back with the brown, dark brown leather dye, and we'll do this on the outside. And so we'll get that nice dark outside, red in the middle, and then the yellow. So I've got my yellow rag now, and again I'm just wiping the colors in and trying to fade them properly. So a lot of back and forth here to get the colors to fade. So now you can see that hard red line that was there a couple minutes ago is now gone. You can see the rag picks up all of those different colors. So we'll then grab another new rag and apply the yellow to the center here. So we apply a lot of yellow back to the center, pull some of the colors down, and once you pull the colors down, you'll take the yellow and sort of reapply the yellow and push the colors back out. And here's that last bit of yellow sort of faded in. And we're looking pretty good. Colors all done. Big canvas to apply on. So we'll just come with some basic sanding sealer here and apply some sanding sealer. Just got a basic gun and my air compressor. This is a Husky gun, and we're just going to apply the sanding sealer front and the back. And a little bit windy, so we're going to turn off the camera and just let it sit. We'll pull off the tape then next, and then begin the process of cleaning off the binding. And all in, I think I have about 2 hours cleaning off the binding. So you take a razor blade, a little bit of tape, so I just have what I need so I don't scratch the sides. And get comfortable and just start scraping. My fingers were killing me after doing this. I did about an hour straight. I got the top done. And then I went to the back side and could not feel my fingers. This takes a long time. Definitely will develop a lot of arthritis, but all the scratches that you saw previously in the binding now are gone. And then we'll go ahead and look at the neck. So it just had a plain wax finish, and when I pulled off the tape, it pulled off some of the finish. So we're just going to hand sand some of this down. I'm not going to take my hand sander to this. Just a basic pad and 320, and we'll just clean up the wax and then apply tru-oil to it. So it's just a basic wax coat, and we'll just clean this off. Use some 320. Make sure I got any of the scratches off that were from what was there. It's all cleaned up, and then we'll go with tru-oil. So I've got that other video on how to use tru-oil. Did something a little bit different here this time. I'll show you in a second. But My standard tru-oil bottle. I've had these 4 bottles for about 2 years. Go through them about every 6 months. I'll apply about 6 coats here. I start with the back and the neck first. Do about 3 coats and then flip over to the front. And we'll just let this soak. And what I'm going to do here is actually sand with tru-oil. So me and my brother had this discussion. He uses this product called velvet oil and sands with it to help fill in some of the grain. And so I figured I'd try it. I used boiled linseed oil the last time. And what I did is take a little bit of tru-oil and 600 sand and grit paper and just went back and forth, helped fill the grain. And this gets it nice and smooth. And this worked out pretty well. So I did this to the front, the back, and the neck. And after that was all done, I got some seal wool, cleaned off the frets. Just made sure they're nicely buffed. So I'll take a couple minutes and do this. This is just finishing off the guitar, get it nice and clean. And then what I'll do is I'll take this razor blade from before, take off the tape, and clean up in between the frets, so any scratches that were left or any residue or whatever, just get them nice and clean, nice playing surface. So I'll go back and forth and just scrape. Then I've got this Allison oil, and we'll put this fingerboard oil on, wipe it in. We'll just go down the line, wipe it in, and the guitar's all set. Not going to buff it or anything, just going to let it sit with the tru-oil. It's got a nice sheen on it, doesn't need any work in terms of buffing. I didn't want a perfect coat on it just because of the age of the guitar. This came out really nice, really happy with the way this looked. Owner was really impressed with how this turned out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next vid.